Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to welcome Laura Bramnick from TalkRealEstateAZ.com. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Sinclair.
Good to see you again.
It's great to be here.
Laura is an attorney. She's also a real estate agent, and she's also a consumer advocate. Laura can work with you on your residential or commercial or land transactions and help you put together a concrete plan. Laura holds an active Arizona real estate license. She is also a certified instructor with the Arizona Department of Real Estate, and she is licensed through the State Bar of Arizona. For more information, the website talkrealestateaz.com, talkrealestateaz.com, and the phone number 480-624-2705, 480-624-2705. Laura, anytime we talk about real estate, almost always we have to talk about financing. And when you talk financing, you've got to talk about someone's credit score.
Yes, and it's not just the score, it's what's specifically written on the credit report.
The full report.
The full report, right.
How do we even find out what's on the report? Because there's not just one.
No, there's 3 bureaus, and Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And sometimes the reports are consistent with the 3 bureaus, but sometimes they're not. You can have one bureau that's accurate and the other 2 that aren't. And so it really is important, even if you have not had credit issues that you know about, to check your credit report at least once a year.
And there are thousands upon thousands of people just in the Phoenix area who have had credit issues related to real estate over the past few years.
Yeah, if you've done a short sale or had a foreclosure, you have a credit impact, a negative credit impact. Even if you've done a short sale and kept your payments current, which is unusual but possible, the short sale in and of itself will have a negative impact. And so the most important thing you want to determine is it accurate? I have a lot of clients who have been through a short sale where the credit report actually shows foreclosure. And the reason they did the short sale was to avoid the credit impact of a foreclosure.
Right.
So you want to check that, because many times when you miss more than 3 payments, your lender can put an entry that it's in foreclosure status. But if you have actually ended up doing a short sale, that status should not be there. It should say settled for less than owed, or some language similar to that.
And when that happens, that then is the end of that credit event, because you've got to go through a certain amount of time.
Right, and that's really important, because if it's reporting, let's say, if it continues to report every month, but the event ended 2 years ago, if you go to apply for credit now, especially a mortgage, because you've waited for the 2 years to pass, or whatever the time limit is that you need to do to apply for a conventional FHA or even VA mortgage, and then all of a sudden your lender pulls your credit, and this pops up, and you may have already made an offer on a house, or be actively looking, and all of a sudden you have to pull back and get this fixed, and it can take a couple of months to get this fixed.
Well, it's not uncommon that there are errors on a credit report, but then the question is, how do you actually get it fixed?
Right, how do you get it fixed? The first thing to know is that everything falls off, positive and negative, after 7 years. And not that you should wait 7 years, but you want to know that even if you've done a foreclosure and your credit report is accurate, after 7 years it falls off.
Okay.
Except for bankruptcy, and that's 10 years. Okay?
All right.
Now, in the meantime, what do? Well, I take a 3-pronged approach. I try to throw the darts everywhere that will hear me and may have the power to do something. And that is, you want to file a dispute with the credit bureaus. And they, by law, have to look into it.
Okay.
That's number one. You don't always get the right relief, but you start there. And you also write a letter to the creditor, and not just a generic letter, but a letter to the corporate headquarters, so that somebody with some power has to look at it. And I send it by some way that I can track it, whether it's certified mail return receipt or FedEx, and if they have a fax number, I also fax it. In
Okay.
addition, under the Dodd-Frank Act, there's a new agency called the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau.
The CFPB, sure.
Yeah, and I also file a complaint with them.
Okay.
And usually, between the three, I usually do get some relief.
That's important.
Now, the lender may have information that is different than mine, and I may, there may have to be a dispute process.
But if you can document it, you may
Yes.
have a good chance to prevail.
Yes,
This is very important, not just for someone out looking to buy a home or a real estate transaction. It also applies to all other sorts of consumer-related issues. It can even affect someone's job.
yes, if you have certain type of license, insurance, securities, I've had clients call me to help them fix their credit because they're renewing or applying for a specific license. The other issue is that one of the reasons so many mistakes are made is that, Arizona has anti-deficiency laws.
Mhm.
They can apply, if it's purchase money, to a second mortgage. And most other states don't have that. And so many times the credit reporting is absolutely in error regarding the second mortgage, which after a foreclosure should be charged off if it's a purchase money mortgage. So there's a lot of issues involved that have to be addressed.
Could be any number of reasons why you want to make sure that that report is right, including real estate transactions. And if you're planning on a real estate transaction, probably really smart to make sure where you stand first before going out and making an offer on any
Yes.
property.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very important.
And you can help.
I can help.
Laura Bramnick at TalkRealEstateAZ.com. She can help you put together a plan for your next real estate transaction. 480-624-2705. 480-624-2705. The website, TalkRealEstateAZ.com. Always good information. Thank you, Laura.
It's great to be here, Sinclair.